Hey, if you've been following my journey with X2O Water, I wanted to give you an honest 60-day testimonial update. Today, I'm sharing the biggest changes I have personally noticed, what happened when I stopped drinking the water for 4 days while I was traveling, and some information that I recently learned about financing options for people who are interested in this technology. As always, I'm simply sharing my personal experience. Everyone is different. Your experience may not be the same as mine. But one of the first things I consistently noticed over the last 2 months is energy. Not the kind of energy that feels stimulated or jittery. This is the best way I can describe it. It's abundant, youthful energy. In fact, it reminds me of the way I felt before puberty set in. Back then, I never thought about whether I had enough energy. I simply had it. I could move, work, play, focus, go about my days effortlessly. Over the years, I actually forgot what that felt like. But over the last couple of months, I've been reminded of it. I've also noticed what feels like greater strength and stamina, not only during my daily workout, but just during everyday activities. Things that once felt heavier simply seem a lot easier. Even simple activities like washing my hair have become noticeably more effortless. I mean, it sounds really weird, but like massaging my scalp is like super easy. And it's very strange, but when I do it, I'm like, wow, that is so crazy that I wasn't really massaging my scalp as vigorously or as effortlessly before this water. This may sound like a small thing to you, but I've learned that sometimes dozens of little improvements really add up to a different quality of life. Another area that I've noticed is cognitive performance. So I feel like I process information faster. When I'm reading, I seem to absorb information more efficiently. And when I'm working online, I notice myself typing faster and making almost no mistakes. It's very strange, but it's significantly fewer mistakes in my typing. So, as someone who spends a lot of time creating content and researching and communicating with people, this is something that I pay attention to. I've also noticed something surprising regarding my posture. So, when I'm sitting or walking, it feels like my body naturally wants to maintain better posture. Now, here's where things get really interesting. A few weeks ago, I traveled out of town for 4 days. Because I was away from my X2O water machine, I wasn't drinking the X2O water daily. The first day, I was fine. But by the second day, I was out of town. Something happened. I began feeling like my old self again. Now, here's the interesting part. Before X2O water, I actually thought my old self felt really good. But after experiencing 2 months of drinking X2O water, I suddenly realized there was a noticeable difference. I had become accustomed to feeling the extra energy, mental sharpness, the overall vitality. And when those sensations weren't there, I noticed it. Then, when I returned home, I started drinking X2O water again. And those benefits seemed to come right back, which is great. That experience gave me an even greater appreciation of what I've been experiencing over the past 2 months. Recently, I also had a potential customer ask me about financing options. I decided to do some extra research because I know many people are interested in the technology, but wondering how can they fit this into their monthly budget. I want to be very clear here. LifeWave does not make any credit decisions, and LifeWave does not determine approval. LifeWave does not set the interest rates. Any financial approval terms and interest rates are determined entirely by PayPal Buy Now, Pay Later based on your individual credit profile and PayPal's lending criteria. PayPal financing may offer terms ranging from a few months up to 24 months. The reason I want to mention financing is because I know many people automatically assume technology like this is out of their reach financially. For some people, it may be, but others, when they look at the monthly payment options, they realize it may be more achievable than they originally thought. I also found it helpful to think about the purchase another way. If you take the $5,495 wholesale price and you divide it over a 2-year period, so that's about 730 days. When you do that math, the investment comes out to about $7.53 per day. And honestly, I spent more on a freshly squeezed bottle of almond milk today than that. So I know everyone has different priorities and different budgets. I completely respect that. And each person has to decide what makes sense for them. But when I looked at it on a daily basis, it gave me a completely different perspective. The biggest benefits, again, that I've personally experienced have been more abundant energy, greater mental clarity and focus, better stamina for everyday activities and my exercise routine, increased productivity, better posture awareness, an overall sense of vitality and well being. And perhaps most importantly, I simply love how I feel. I love waking up in the morning and drinking a glass of this water. I love the energy I experience throughout the day. I love the mental clarity and focus that I've personally noticed. And I love feeling like I'm operating at a higher level than I was before. Now, again, this is simply my personal experience and everyone is different. But for me, X2O water has become an important part of my daily routine, and I'm just so grateful for it. If you're already using X2O water, I would genuinely love to hear what you've noticed. Please share your experience in the comments below. And if you'd like my help learning more about this remarkable technology, or if you have questions about ordering the X2O water system, please reach out. I'd love to help you. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.